Good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to the garage. I'm going to install my 4.5-inch risers on my motorcycle with my heritage bars and see how I'm going to like it. I'll see y'all in the garage. The first thing I'm going to do here is remove the cover on my headlamp and remove the headlight. I have to remove the piece of trim that's on top of the housing for the headlight to be able to get the handlebar cover off. I always put the screws back in where they came out of, that way I don't lose them. That's one of those experience things. Now, since there's 8 of these, I'm not going to put these back in. I keep these containers. These were gum, and I just take the labels off and I use them for containers. So we'll put these 8 screws into this. Now the Road Kings has a little screw and nut right here. I mean, those, if you know, you know, but they have a screw and a nut right here holding this trim piece down. Oops. Didn't quite have it loose enough, did I? The damn thing's kind of hard to get to. Now pop the cover off right here that covers up the adjustment screws for the handlebars. I need longer and skinnier fingers. Popped off the little key lock cover. I dropped the washer on that back bolt, but if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend one. It's a telescoping magnet. Ta-da! They come in handy, especially for me. I drop shit all the time. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I purchased this dampening bushing kit from Arlen Ness, and I'm going to remove the old bushing since I've got the handlebars off and I am installing the pullback risers. But these polyurethane bushes are a little firmer and your handlebars won't give quite as much when you're pulling back on them and everything. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to remove the old bushings and put in these new ones. What we have here Obviously, that's the headlight that I removed. This is the handlebar clamp cover that was on the bike that we will no longer use. We'll be replacing it with this one that has the holes in it to allow for the risers. These are the 4.5-inch pullback risers, right and left sides. Like I say, these will sit inside the holes here like this. I've got the drag specialty handlebar clamp, chrome, and then I'm replacing the old bolts with new chrome bolts. This is for the handlebar clamp. Then these are the bushings that I've already shown you. These are the bushings themselves, upper and lower chrome washers, and then the tubes that go through the bushings. Okay, let's get back at it. I've already removed the bolt from the left side, and I'm going to replace these with bolts that are about 3/4 of an inch longer. Currently these go about that deep, and I want them to go up farther into the stem of my riser. Okay, got to remember that we got a ground wire on that one. Take the washer off. All right, I'm probably going to need to get a screwdriver to remove these. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, and then we'll join back in after I get the old bushings out. Yeah, these bushings are pretty soft. They're pretty, you can tell they're pretty worn out too, so. And actually this one's even torn just a little bit, so. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to go ahead and replace those and be proactive. Oh, that's not torn. It's just wore out and soft. Oh yeah, these are going to be a lot better. The one on your left, that's the rubber stock bushing. The one on the right is the Arlen Ness polyurethane. I mean, you can see the difference. And I know I'm going to feel the difference because, like I said, when I pulled back on the handlebars, they give a little bit. These came highly recommended, so I'm glad I'm going ahead and replacing those. This is the lower bushing. This one of the gun is pretty worn out. Look at that. Okay, and I've been told these may be kind of hard to put in, so I may have to stop the camera and go down to my shop and get a large clamp. But I'm going to try it first. We'll see. Okay, we got the new bushing in on the left side. Now I'm going to turn the wheel and remove and put in the new bushing on the right side. Okay, I've moved over to the right side, fixing to remove the clamp and the bolt on this side and replace the bushings. I won't bore you with that part. I'll get back to you after we have it removed and the new one back in. Okay, so this is the upper bushing here, same as the other. You know, it's pretty soft rubber. And then this is the lower. They're about pretty much the exact same condition as they were on the left side. I'll put the new ones in next. When you put the new cover, or if you use the old cover, be sure that you put the screw or the bolt and the washer back on the cover before you get too far along. That washer slides in between the headlamp housing. Okay, so I've got the right 4.5-inch riser on. Now I'm going to turn the wheel and shift over to the left side and put that one on. I've got both 4.5-inch risers on. Next thing I'm going to do, if I'm lucky, these handlebars will work without having to put my new cables on, which I am going to put my new cables on anyway. I've got some stainless steel braided cables that I'm going to put on here, but hopefully I can go ahead and mount the handlebar. I can see if I'm going to like it or not and get it situated where I want it, and then I can change my cables next. They're on, got them tightened up. I think I've got them at the angle that I would like, and they're pretty much straight with the angle of the forks, which I was hoping that would be the case. But anyway, I have a few other things I need to adjust as well, like my hand controls. I'm going to have to adjust them. They're tilting down a little too low, so I'm going to need to loosen them up and adjust them at a different angle than what they are now. I have some caps to put on that snap into the hex head bolts here. I just keep dirt and grime out of the inside of the bolts, and it gives it a more polished look. But I'm going to hold off on those until I get out and test ride it, because I may need to adjust them some more. But I'll go ahead and put my trim on here, and then I'll trim on my light, and then take it for a test drive. Let me know what you think. I think I'm going to like them. I'll scan around here and kind of give you a look at it from all sides. All right, let's see what it feels like out on the road. I'm out checking out my new handlebar setup. I don't know if it's psychological or if I really feels like I have better control over the bike and my turns and everything. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's psychological or if it's really the case.